Dan Willis here, and we're talking about how to negotiate with debt collectors and specifically the 4 steps to paying debt collectors. Now, step number 1 is to request account validation. This is your consumer right granted by the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, the FDCPA. And essentially, since we didn't do any business directly with this collection agency, we're asking them to prove this is actually a legitimate debt and show us the details about it. It's most effective if you make your request in writing, send it using certified mail with return receipt requested. That way you'll have evidence that you sent your request and that they received it. You see, they're required to respond within 30 days of receipt. And they need to respond by providing you with the evidence, the documents, the paperwork that actually proves this is your debt. And it's not uncommon that they won't validate your debt for a variety of reasons. But if they don't validate your debt, then in accordance with the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, you're no longer legally responsible for payment. Further, they're supposed to contact all 3 of the credit bureaus to have them remove that collection listing from your credit report. And if you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. Now, the second step is the statute of limitations. If your debt is validated, you're going to receive all that paperwork and those documents, and we want to review this. What we're looking for is your last date of account activity. You see, for most types of consumer debt, you're not legally responsible forever. The statute of limitations says exactly how long you're responsible, but it sure ain't forever. And generally, this is about 7 years from that first date of delinquency. Now, the statute of limitations is a state law, so for full details, investigate your local state listings. But it applies to the overwhelming majority of types of consumer debt, from credit cards to utilities to telecommunications. Basically everything. The few exceptions are federal income tax and defaulted federal student loans. Those are the 2 exceptions. But beware, and a word of warning, one of the common, most dirtiest, most snarky tactics of debt collectors is to re-age consumer accounts. Often, virtually all the time, this is done illegally, but the takeaway is it's naive to believe that any debt collectors are just sitting around waiting to forgive your debt. If you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. Now, the third step is to negotiate a settlement agreement. And the big key here, before we even get to this, only enter in negotiations with that debt collector after your account has been validated and you've investigated the statute of limitations. Assuming your debt is valid and it's within the statute of limitations, the next step is to actually negotiate a settlement agreement. And there's 2 parts of your settlement agreement. The first is to always negotiate to settle your debt for much less than the total balance. Frequently, you'll be able to settle for as little as 15% of the balance up to about 45%. For example, with a $1,000 debt, you may be able to settle for just $300 or 30%. The second part of your agreement, and it's wise to get this in writing, the second part of your agreement is mission critical. We need to get this collection agency to agree that in exchange for our payment, they'll stop reporting our account information to all 3 credit bureaus. This is going to be important here when we talk about, in this 4th step, removing that collection listing from your credit report. But while we're here, we need to dispel this common internet myth about the pay for delete approach. If you're not familiar with this is where you demand that collection agency first delete the item from your credit report and then you'll make payment. It sounds incredible. It sounds wonderful, and we are right there with you. We wished it would work that way. You're welcome to try it, but we can virtually guarantee you will not find one debt collector that'll ever agree to that for so many reasons that we just can't get into here. It sounds great, it sounds wonderful, but it's a lot of wishful thinking, unfortunately. Instead, the much more pragmatic and the much more effective approach is to simply get them to agree to stop reporting your account information to all three of the credit bureaus. That they will agree to. They could put up a fight or they might agree to it right off the top, but they will never agree to delete the item and then you make payment. It just doesn't work that way. Instead, get them to agree to simply stop reporting your account information. And if you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. Now, this fourth and final step is removing this collection listing from your credit report, because this is how we're going to get a better credit score, by getting those dings off of your credit report. To do this, we're going to have to exercise more of your consumer rights, and specifically those granted under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. This federal legislation is what entitles you and enables you to challenge and dispute any item on your credit report so long as you believe it's inaccurate, misleading, or made in error. There's three ways to file your credit bureau dispute, credit report dispute. You can do it online, over the phone, or by mail, and you do that directly with the credit bureaus. Once the credit bureaus get your dispute, they first get to deem it valid or invalid, which is a whole other conversation for another time and place, so of course subscribe and join our congregation. But on valid disputes, they're required to investigate the item. They'll call it a reinvestigation. Nevertheless, they'll contact that debt collector and they'll ask them for verification of your account. As per your settlement agreement with that debt collector, they're not going to verify your account when the credit bureaus investigate. And in a compliance with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, this means the credit bureaus must remove that collection listing from your credit report. Every item on your credit report must be verifiable. And if you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. Now, to wrap this all up, you're really swimming in dangerous waters dealing with any debt collector, and there's blood in the water, really. But here's the big takeaway. If OJ can get out of real prison early, don't you think we ought to be able to get you out of bad credit prison early? Of course, and you can, so long as you're willing to exercise your rights, stay persistent, stay organized, stay disciplined. We guarantee for most people in many items, most folks can get out of bad credit prison early and long before that 7-year maximum time window ends. Your credit score at the end of the day is a lot like your grade point average in school days past, glory days past. It doesn't matter if you're acing all your courses, if you're failing underwater basket weaving, because that negative mark is going to ruin your overall GPA. This is the same principle holds true with your credit score, and that's why it's of such paramount importance that we clean up and remove any dings, blemishes, or negative items on your credit report. We encourage our members to consider professional, legal, and legitimate credit repair firms to help with this, because in 2016 alone, over 9 million negative items were removed from consumers' credit reports. One of the best firms is the Credit Pros. They've helped clients successfully remove late payments, collections, charge-offs, judgments, liens, and so many more negative credit report items. If you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. Again, that's for a free credit consultation, and the toll-free phone number is 1-877-418-7596. This is Dan Willis. We're going to include a link in the description below over to an article on our website for the full story. We also have a free report available there, the 7 proven ways to boost your credit score. And of course, subscribe and join our congregation. Have a fantastic day. Looking forward to talking to you again here soon.